There comes a time in every man's life when the weight of the world seems unbearable. The voices of the past, the expectations of others, the promises unfulfilled, all fade into the quiet emptiness of a single undeniable truth. There is only you and the divine force that drives you. In those moments, when the world has walked away and you are left with nothing but your own raw heart, you will discover what you are truly made of. There in the deepest corners of your soul lies the strength you've always had, the fire that never went out, a strength that doesn't rely on others. When you realize that all you need is faith in yourself and in the higher power guiding you, that is when you rise. Watch till the end, hit subscribe, and remember the real change begins now. There's a silence that comes, a quiet so deep that it feels as though the world itself has paused. It's not the kind of silence that soothes or calms. No, this silence is different. It's the kind that forces you to face what you've been running from, what you've spent your whole life avoiding. There's no music to drown it out, no distractions to fill the void, just you, alone. And it's in this silence that you realize how much you've been avoiding yourself, how much of your life you've spent outside of your own truth. At first, it feels unbearable, the emptiness, the stillness, the overwhelming sense of isolation. You've spent so long being someone else, playing the part the world expected of you, and now, for the first time, you are left with nothing but the rawness of who you truly are. You can't hide anymore. No one's around to tell you what you should be, what you should want. No voices to dictate your next move. It's just you standing in that silence, feeling more lost than you've ever felt before. And then in that suffocating quiet, a realization begins to stir. It's not an easy one. It doesn't come with relief or a sense of peace. It's a call, a calling that's been there all along, waiting for you to finally hear it. You've been so busy filling your life with noise, with others, with distractions, with expectations that you never truly listen. The silence isn't here to punish you. It's here to guide you, to show you that the answers you've been searching for aren't outside of you. They were always within you, waiting to be uncovered in the stillness. As you stand in this place, uncertain and vulnerable, a new awareness begins to form. This solitude, this silence, it's not your enemy. It's the birthplace of everything you've been seeking. In the absence of all the noise, you finally hear the voice that's been calling you for so long. The voice of your true self, the voice of the divine, patiently waiting for you to rise. You see now, as the quiet washes over you, that it's not the distractions that give you strength. It's not the busy noise of the world that makes you feel whole. It's the peace, the stillness, the connection to something greater that you've been missing. This silence is not an emptiness to fear. It is a space to heal, to reflect, and to rise. And when you finally stop running, when you allow yourself to sit with that silence, something shifts. You realize that you were never truly lost. You were simply waiting for the courage to find yourself again. The silence didn't take something from you. It gave you everything you needed to rise. The awakening of faith. There is a moment in every life, a moment that arrives when everything you built begins to crumble, when the walls you thought were solid collapse around you, and the path you walked so confidently down suddenly disappears beneath your feet. It is in those moments when the world goes silent and the noise of everything you thought you knew fades into the distance, that you are forced to confront the most profound truth. Everything you relied on was fragile, and in that quiet, in that terrifying silence, you find yourself wondering if anything is real at all. You've been here before, haven't you? When the future felt uncertain, when the weight of your doubt seemed heavier than your own body, and you searched for something, anything to hold on to. You looked outward, desperately seeking reassurance from others, from your circumstances, from fleeting victories and temporary distraction. But none of it filled the emptiness. None of it gave you the strength to rise above your fears, because the truth you've been avoiding for so long is this. What you truly need has never been out there. It has always been within you, waiting for you to recognize it. Faith, it isn't something passive. It isn't something you pick up when the world is kind and the roads are smooth. No, faith is forged in the fire of adversity. It's not a belief that waits for your conditions to be perfect. It's the force that rises when everything else falls apart. Faith in its purest form is the quiet power that begins when you have nothing left to hold on to but the deep, unshakable knowing that something greater than yourself has a plan for you. It is not a crutch, it is the foundation upon which everything can be rebuilt. In the stillness of your despair, when you feel lost and abandoned, it is this faith that whispers to you, telling you that your story is far from over. It calls you to rise, not because the world demands it, but because something within you knows that your purpose, your path, is still there, even if you can't see it yet. The world will try to convince you that you are too broken to be rebuilt, that the pain you carry is too heavy to overcome. But faith, once awakened, does not ask for your permission to move mountains. It simply asks that you trust in the journey, no matter how unclear the next step may seem. And it's in this trust, this belief that something beyond your understanding is guiding you, that the true power of faith becomes clear. It is the catalyst for transformation. It is the fire that lights the way when the darkness of doubt threatens to consume you. Faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in the belief that you are more than what you've allowed yourself to believe. This is not blind hope. It is a conscious decision to rise above the chaos, to step forward with the courage to believe that the path ahead, no matter how uncertain, is meant for you. So now, as you stand in the wreckage of what you thought you knew, understand this. What has fallen away was never meant to define you. The only thing that remains, the one constant through it all, is your faith. Trust it, lean into it, and let it carry you through the storm. The power of self-reliance. There comes a point when everything you've relied on begins to slip away. The people, the promises, the fort that you thought would always be there. And in the empty space they leave behind, something powerful begins to. At first, it's unsettling, even terrifying. The world seems to fall silent and you're left alone, forced to face a truth you've spent a lifetime avoiding. You were never as dependent on others as you thought. The truth is, you are far stronger than you've ever known. It doesn't matter how many times you've been let down, how many people have walked away from you when you needed them most. You've believed for so long that your strength came from those around you. But now, when the world has left you, you stand alone, not in weakness, but in the rawness of your own power, and the realization hits you like a wave. You've always had what you needed. The strength you sought in others was inside you all along. In those moments of solitude, when you feel as though the weight of the world is too much to bear, you discover that the divine, that quiet, unshakable force has been guiding you from within. You were never truly powerless. You were simply looking for power outside of yourself. Self-reliance is not about isolation or stubborn independence. It's about awakening to the truth that the source of your strength, your courage, your resilience lies within you. It is in these moments of being stripped bare that you learn to rely on the one person who will never leave you, yourself. When the people you once trusted turn their backs, when the world around you collapses, you have a choice. You can shrink in fear and doubt, or you can rise. Rising is not easy. It takes everything within you to face the day, to keep moving forward when the road seems endless. But it is in the rising that you uncover the true depth of your own power. You are not a victim to your circumstances. You are the master of your response to them. Your true power lies not in the approval or validation of others, but in your ability to stand tall even when the ground beneath you seems unstable. In this new understanding, you stop seeking approval, stop looking for the next person to lift you up. You realize that you have always had the power to rise on your own, to face the storm without crumbling, to hold your head high even when everything else seems to be falling apart. You are no longer dependent on the world to give you permission to be strong. You are strong because you have chosen to be. And with that realization, something within you shifts. The silence you once feared becomes a space of strength. The solitude, once a source of pain, becomes your proving ground. In the absence of others, you finally hear the voice of your true self, calling you to rise, to embrace the inner power that has been waiting all along. You stand, not just because you can, but because you know now, with every fiber of your being, that the power was always yours. The test of true strength. You've felt it, haven't you? That moment when everything around you seems to be unraveling. The world feels heavy, like it's pressing down on you with a weight you can't escape. You thought you were strong enough to face the challenges, but now, as the pieces of your life scatter in front of you, you wonder if you've truly ever known what strength really is. You see, the world will measure your strength in 1,000 different ways. It will tell you that strength is about conquering others, about facing the external battles with grit and might. It will convince you that the true test of strength is how well you can push back against the forces that try to break you. But what if the greatest test of strength isn't about overcoming the world? What if it's about overcoming what's inside? The true battle, the one that defines you, is not out there, it's within. It's the fight you fight when no one is watching, when no one is there to cheer you on. It's the fight between who you are right now and who you are capable of becoming. And this battle, this internal war, is the one that will either break you or make you. The strength to rise doesn't come from the battles you win outside. It comes from the ones you fight inside yourself. When you're standing alone with no one else to fight for you, when the silence presses down on you, that's when you truly begin to find out what you're made of. You'll feel every ounce of fear, every thread of doubt that tells you to give up, that tells you you're not enough. It's in those moments when you feel like there's nothing left to hold on to that the real strength begins to surface. You don't find strength in the easy moments. You find it when you're stripped down to nothing and forced to face the parts of yourself you've been hiding from. This is where the fire within you is born. It's not about having the willpower to keep going. It's about the quiet, unwavering determination to push through when every part of you wants to quit. Strength is the decision to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. It's the courage to look within, to face the darkness, and to rise again, knowing that the next step is yours to take. The strength you need to face the world, to face yourself, has always been there. It was never about physical power or external validation. It's about finding that quiet, burning desire inside of you, the part of you that refuses to be defeated, that refuses to accept weakness as an option. This strength is not a force. It is a force within you, one that grows when you choose to stand, when you choose to rise again, time and time again. So stand now, not because the world expects it, but because you know that the fight is not about the world, it's about you. This is your test, and you are capable of passing it. You are stronger than you know. And the moment you decide to face yourself, truly face yourself, you will rise in ways you never thought possible. Surrender to a higher power. There's a moment in every person's life when the weight of everything becomes too much to carry. You try to push through, try to control, try to make sense of the chaos, but every attempt feels like you're running in circles, fighting against something that never lets up. And in those moments when you feel like you're standing on the edge, you hear a voice, not from the world, not from anyone around you, but from deep within, calling you to let go. The voice tells you to stop fighting, to stop trying to control everything, and simply surrender. It's not an easy thing to do, is it? To surrender? It feels like admitting defeat. The world has taught you to fight, to push forward, to be strong no matter what. And yet here you are, standing at the crossroads of your own soul, being asked to do the one thing that feels unnatural: let go. But surrender is not defeat. It is the most profound act of strength, because in that surrender, you are not giving up. You are stepping into something great. You are releasing the illusion of control and allowing something far more powerful to take the reins. In surrender, you stop fighting against the current and start trusting that the current knows where it's taking you. It's a trust, a faith in something beyond yourself. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. You may feel exposed, vulnerable, unsure. How can you trust something you can't see, something you can't touch? But it's in this very moment, when you let go of your need to control every detail, that you open yourself up to the boundless potential that only faith can unlock. You are no longer confined by the limits of your own willpower. Instead, you allow yourself to be guided by a force greater than anything you could ever manufacture on your own. In surrender, you discover a freedom you never knew existed. The constant pressure of trying to figure everything out, of forcing outcomes, begins to melt away. And in that space, in the quiet of letting go, you begin to feel something stirring within you, a peace, a certainty, a knowing that everything will unfold as it should. You realize that you were never meant to carry everything on your own. You were never meant to have all the answers, to control every outcome. The moment you surrender, you make room for something bigger than yourself to enter your life. A divine force guiding you, supporting you, shaping you into who you were always meant to become. And when you let go, when you trust, you will see the truth. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to the life you were always meant to live. It means trusting that the journey will unfold in its own time, in its own way, and that you are exactly where you need to be. So now, as you stand at the edge, facing your fears, your doubts, and your uncertainties, know that surrendering is not weakness. It is the bravest, most powerful decision you will ever make. And in that decision, you will find the strength you never knew you had. The courage to follow your own path. There's a silence that falls over you when you finally hear the call. It's not loud, not a booming sound that you can't ignore, but a quiet whisper, the call of something deeper, something truer within you. It's the path you know you must walk, but it's also the one you fear most. Why? Because the world will try to tell you who you should be, how you should live, what your dreams should look like. They'll tell you what's practical, what's acceptable, and what's safe. But you feel it, don't you? That gnawing sensation deep in your bones, telling you that none of it, none of their rules is right for you. The truth is this: you are standing at the edge of a decision that will define the rest of your life. You can follow the crowd, you can listen to the voices of everyone else, or you can turn inward and listen to the only voice that truly matters, your own. But that decision is not easy. It takes courage. A courage born from knowing that to follow your own path means to walk alone. Sometimes to face rejection, to face doubt, not just from the world, but from within yourself. For a long time, you've been told that success looks a certain way, that happiness is a formula that can be followed. But here you are, standing at the crossroads, feeling something stir within you, something that tells you the world's definition of success isn't yours. And it scares you. It scares you because it means going against everything you've been taught to believe, against every expectation others have placed on you, even the ones you've internalized. But in that fear lies the seed of transformation. The courage to follow your own path doesn't come from the absence of fear. It comes from feeling the fear and moving forward anyway. It is not rebellion. It is self-honor. It is the act of choosing yourself when everything else around you tells you not to. It is not about rejecting the world, but about honoring the truth that lives inside you. The truth that tells you that your life, your purpose, your joy will only unfold when you are true to yourself, when you stop trying to fit into someone else's mold. You are the master of your destiny. Whether you choose to believe it or not, the world will not give you permission to follow your own path. You will have to take that permission for yourself. It is only when you stop looking outward for approval, when you stop measuring your worth by the expectations of others, that you will discover what you're truly capable of. The world will judge you. It will label you, try to box you in, but your path is yours to create. No one else can walk it for you. No one else can live your truth but you. And so the choice is yours. You can live according to the world's script, following the same old paths, or you can step into the unknown, knowing that the only way to truly live is to be unapologetically yourself. The courage to follow your own path is not about certainty. It's about trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your journey. Trust that as you take each step, the path will unfold before you and you will become the person you were always meant to be. The divine connection within. There are times when it feels like the world is closing in on you. The weight of every setback, every failure, every doubt you've ever carried presses down on you until you feel like you're suffocating. It's easy to forget, in those moments, who you really are. You start to believe the story that the world tells you, that you're just a body, lost in a sea of faces struggling to survive. But that is not who you are. That's never been who you are. Deep inside of you, there's a quiet truth that waits for you to remember it. It's been there all along, in the moments of stillness, in the moments when you felt truly alive, It's a connection, a divine connection that runs through every fiber of your being. You are not just flesh and blood. You are a soul, a spark of the Creator, walking this earth for a purpose far greater than you may even comprehend. In the rush of life, it's easy to forget that. You get lost in the noise and the constant push to achieve, to become, to be seen and validated by others. You think you have to prove your worth, that you have to fight the world to survive. But what if the truth is that you've never needed to fight at all? What if the real power, the strength you've been searching for has always been within you, just waiting to be awakened? When you realize that you carry within you the essence of the divine, everything changes. The struggles you face, the challenges that seem impossible, are no longer obstacles. They are simply part of the greater plan that is unfolding for you. Every challenge is a stepping stone, a lesson that brings you closer to the truth of who you are. You are never truly alone. Even in the darkest times when the world feels cold and unwelcoming, there is a fire within you that cannot be extinguished, a fire that is connected to something greater, something eternal. That fire is the divine spark inside of you. It's the force that keeps you moving when you think you can't go on. It's the resilience that rises in you when all seems lost. You have access to that power, to that divine connection at all times. You don't have to search for it outside yourself. You carry it with you always. It's there in every breath you take, in every moment you live, in every step you take forward. So stop looking outside for what has always been inside of you. Stop searching for validation, for approval, for permission to be who you are. The divine has already given you all that you need. It has already placed within you the strength, the wisdom, and the power to rise. When you remember that, when you truly understand that, you will realize that nothing can stand in your way. No fear, no obstacle, no darkness. You are the living embodiment of that divine connection. And there is nothing more powerful than that. And in that realization, you will find peace. You will find the strength to face whatever comes your way, because you know now that you are never truly alone. You are always connected to the divine, and that connection will never fade, no matter how dark the world may seem. It is a fire that will never burn out. Embracing the transformation. There's a quiet pain that accompanies change, isn't there? It's the kind of discomfort that seems to gnaw at you from the inside, as if your very soul is being stretched in ways you never thought possible. When you stand at the threshold of transformation, it feels like you're being torn apart. What you were and what you are meant to become are violently at odds with each other. You try to hold on to the old, the familiar, but it slips away, and all you're left with is the rawness of what's happening inside. It's easy to resist. It's easy to wish for things to stay the same, to yearn for the comfort of the life you once knew, even if that life was full of limitations. But deep down, you know that the pain you're feeling isn't an accident. It's not a sign of failure. It's the inevitable process of shedding your old skin, of breaking free from the chains that have held you back. Transformation is never neat. It's never pretty. It's messy, uncomfortable, and often painful. But it is through this very process that you will become who you were always meant to be. You're not the person you were yesterday. You can feel it in every inch of your being, but the person you're becoming, that person is still forming, still breaking free from the self-doubt, the fear, and the limitations that once held you captive. Every step of this transformation forces you to confront your deepest fears, your deepest weaknesses, but it also forces you to tap into a strength you didn't know you had. The more you let go of what no longer serves you, the more you allow your true self to emerge. There's a power in this process, a divine power that's guiding you through it. It's easy to look at your struggles and feel abandoned, to think that you're walking this path alone. But what if the truth is that this pain is a gift? What if in the deepest moments of discomfort, you're being guided toward the life you were always meant to live? The transformation you're going through is not an obstacle. It's the very force that will propel you into the life you've always dreamed of. It is through this fire that you are forged into something stronger, something wiser, something far more aligned with your true purpose. There are days when the weight of it all feels unbearable, when the doubt creeps in and you wonder if you're strong enough to keep going. But let me tell you this, you are. This transformation is not happening to you. It is happening for you. The challenges you face, the pain you feel, are all part of the divine plan to mold you into the person you are always meant to be. And when you look back, you will see that it was this very process, this uncomfortable journey, that made you stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you ever imagined. So embrace the transformation, knowing that it is the very force that will carry you into the next chapter of your life. Trust that every step, every moment of discomfort is a necessary part of your becoming. Through God's guidance and your own resilience, nothing is impossible. The life you've been waiting for is waiting for you on the other side of this transformation. And when you emerge, you will be ready. You will be more than ready. You will be unstoppable.